Welcome back. Today's Do Now wanted you to explain how the Chicano civil rights movement of the 60s had an impact on America today. A lot of different answers you could have gone with. You could have talked about lots of civil rights issues many Chicano and Hispanic people faced during the 60s and how some of those challenges don't exist anymore. You could talk about how um, this impact on education. You could talk about the impact on Chicano pride, La Raza, um, and the unity felt between different cultures and groups of people around um, the Spanish language. There's a lot of different answers you could have given to this one. Before we continue with Chicano civil rights, just a reminder that our test on all this 1960 stuff, Cold War, and civil rights is going to be next Wednesday. So we're going to talk about one of the most famous civil rights activists in the Chicano civil rights movement is going to be Cesar Chavez. You've probably heard of, very big in Denver. We have Cesar Chavez Day off every year as a holiday. He is going to be part of the nonviolent resistance. Similar to Martin Luther King, he believes in peaceful protest, boycotts, marches. He is not looking to, walking around with a rifle like Malcolm X. He's going to be a peaceful protester. One of his most famous strikes or his protest is going to be a hunger strike. Now, Cesar Chavez was really big in protesting for migrant farmers' rights. Remember the farmers in these small towns who were being abused. He was trying to raise their wages, give them better conditions, all this stuff. So he would do hunger strikes where he'd refuse to eat to call attention to this issue. And his biggest one was 25 days. He went 25 days without eating. And you might argue, like, well, how does that help anybody? Well, got a lot of news coverage. A lot of people watch this to try and understand, well, why is he going on a hunger strike? What's the point? So he was on the national news, and now everyone in the country heard about the issues he was talking about. No one heard about them before because they were in these small towns, these small farms that no one ever went to. It wasn't something in your face. It was something that was hard to see. And even those who saw it didn't recognize it or want to know it and let it go and ignored it. So Cesar Chavez brought those issues to light. Another one of his protests was a boycott of grapes, which was sort of a nationwide boycott. No one would buy grapes um, until some of the conditions were met for farm workers, and it was a very successful boycott. Here's a picture of him on his hunger strike. Sitting next to him is Bobby Kennedy. This is JFK's brother. He was running for president at the time. So it shows the power of this protest as he's bringing presidential candidates to sit with him and support him. Unfortunately, Bobby Kennedy is going to be assassinated before the presidential election. We're going to watch a video together as a class, so you can pause this one if you'd like. So as I said yesterday, Denver is going to be one of the major cities involved in the Chicano civil rights movement. Same as LA and different places in Texas and Arizona. Denver is going to play a critical role. A lot of the activists, like Corky Gonzalez, are going to be from Denver and give speeches in Denver. There's going to be a lot of protests in Denver. And one of the most famous ones is a student walkout. This is going to involve West High School, just downtown Denver, where the students are going to walk out. There's going to be some issues with teachers who are being very oppressive to the Spanish-speaking students and Chicano students in the building. And the students want that to change, and they're going to peacefully march out as protest. The school is going to respond by trying to suspend kids and punish them, and the police are going to show up, and things are going to start getting a little out of control, and the police are going to start attacking and arresting these students. And here's some pictures of that walkout. Demands for justice and better education. Talking about inequalities when it comes to involvement in Vietnam. Is this really justice? And here's police arresting innocent students who are protesting for their rights. So we're going to watch a little bit longer of a video that's going to talk about sort of the timeline of the West blowouts, is what they call them, or West high school walkouts. Very famous moment in Chicano civil rights movement, similar to what happened in like Birmingham when the dogs attacked those students and the fire department hosed them down. This is going to be on national news. People are going to watch this. All around the country, you're not going to be able to ignore these issues anymore because you're seeing them on TV. The whole world is seeing them. Right? You're trying to fight a Cold War where you're supposed to be the better country. This doesn't look good. And a lot of people are going to start recognizing these problems that need to be fixed, and we need to address the injustice. So we'll watch this video. You can pause this Pear Deck for a few minutes if you'd like. For your assignment, you're going to research more about West High School blowouts. You can watch videos, you can read stuff, look at pictures, whatever you can find about the West High School blowouts, and answer some questions. You're going to compare it to what was happening with African Americans, and you're going to explain, like, why was this such an important protest?